Hello everyone and welcome to the Spotlight Q&A with Hairdressing. Instagram is just telling all our followers that we have started the live video. So once we've got a few of you joined, I will begin. Just before we begin, this is going to all be about hairdressing. We have got Claire, who is our curriculum manager, coming on this evening to speak about it from a staff perspective. And then we've also got Emily joining us, who is a current student, and she'll be joining us later as well, and just to talk about her insight into hairdressing as well. So they will be sending a request through, and then we will be requesting them to come and join and have a chat with us later. So there's quite a few of you watching already, so I'm going to get into it. Just before I do, I can see that Claire's put a request in. Brilliant, lovely. Before I move on to the introduction, just to tell you a little bit about us, we do have our school leavers guides. There is digital versions of these on the website. So you can go to northkent.ac.uk, have a little look, and you can read this all online. Or you can drop us a DM and we can send them to you direct to your door. So just give us a DM after this or during this, whenever you'd like to, and we will be able to send one directly to your door. I can see Emily's popped her request in as well, so that's brilliant. Thank you, guys. So just to get started, we will be speaking with Claire and Emily very, very soon. Just a little bit about ourselves. We're obviously North Kent College. We have got two campuses. We have got Dartford campus and Gravesend. So Dartford is on Oakfield Lane. There's also a free shuttle bus that goes from Dartford town centre all the way direct to the college campus. And it's completely free for students and staff. There is also direct links to Gravesend site as well, which is on Lower Higham Road. We also, if you have any questions, please just comment in the comments, and Claire or Emily, if they're for Emily or myself, please feel free to just comment below. If you don't fancy popping the comment in the live stream, then please head over to our DMs and you can message us directly and privately there. That's not a problem. If you are interested in any of the courses that we mentioned today, then please feel free to head to bio, click the link, and it will take you straight to the website where you are able to apply. If you are interested and you know exactly what you would like to study, then please apply a lot sooner. Don't leave it too late. Courses do fill up, and the last thing we would like to do is disappoint anybody in what they'd like to study. So I'm going to bring Claire on now. So just going to add her to the stream. Got a few questions I'd like. It's just waiting. The connection just needs to wake up a little bit. I think that's what it is. We do have virtual open days coming up as well. So we've got Dartford and Gravesend. They are two separate ones. They are all virtual. So all you'd need to do is go onto the event page on the website and then pre-register on there. It is just waiting for Claire. I think it's just connecting still, but yeah, as I said, virtual open days are upcoming. Loads of great content. They're going to be for Dartford, and then there's going to be one for Gravesend, so two separate ones. Obviously Gravesend is predominantly construction, but we also have public services, catering and hairdressing there. And then Dartford is predominantly kind of performing arts, but we have a lot of other courses, travel and tourism, public services there as well, hairdressing is there as well, beauty, business, legal. There's tons. There's so much to choose from. We have got a few questions in here. I don't think it's currently connecting with Claire at the moment, so I might bring Emily on in a second. I will try and add Claire back on manually, but before I do that, there is a few questions in the comments. Nathan, you've mentioned about, do you do construction courses? Yes, we do. We do loads of construction courses. We do brickwork, multi-trades, carpentry and joinery, motor vehicle, which is really popular, engineering, electrical, plumbing. I think that's everything. But you can find all of that information at our virtual open day. There's going to be so much. So feel free to head over to the website and have a little look. Somebody said, do we give LGBTQ help at the college? We do have support at the college, and it does range from so much support, financial, careers, any kind of support, and there is counselling as well. So there is a range of support for you there, and you can just ask us. That's not a problem. If you'd like to know a little bit more detail about that, then feel free to give us a DM, and we can go into a little bit further detail with that. Somebody said a really lovely comment here. NKC is amazing. I'm an actor at Dartford campus. I recommend it to the highest. That's so lovely. That's great. Thank you so much for that. I'm just going to see if I can add Claire back in now. Nathan, the virtual open day, so they're all online at the moment. They will be on the 25th and the 27th for you. They're all on the website, so northkent.ac.uk, and at the top bar there is events, and then if you click that, the Dartford one will be there and the Gravesend one will be there, so you can have a look at both of them. I mean, by all means, do both, and then you can get as much information as you possibly can. So it's just waiting for Claire to accept the request. So we'll just wait for that. If not, we'll go straight to Emily, and then we'll try Claire at the end. There's a few more things. I was a student and I did media level 2, and I really enjoyed it every day. Well, that's great to hear. I'm so glad we're having so many positive comments today. It's lovely. It's great to hear from everybody. Okay, so it's not going through to Claire at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Emily on first. So I'm just going to see if she's ready. Send the request through. Oh, there we
Hi.
go. Hi, Emily.
Hiya.
How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Good, good. Yeah, I'm
Good.
well, thank you. So, few questions, if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it.
First one, I think it's a bit obvious. Why did you choose to do hairdressing?
Well, I've wanted to do hair for a very long time. I wanted to do it throughout school. I tried a few other things. I'm a mature student, so I've tried a few other things, and I went into, my full-time work for a couple of years, and I just kept being pulled back to hair, and I kind of had to ask myself what it is I really wanted to do at one point
Yeah.
last year. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go back and do the hairdressing course that I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's why I chose it.
Perfect. I heard that you was potentially in a different area within the college. Is that right? And then you
Yes.
transferred over?
Yeah, so when I left school at 16, I went and did performing arts dance for 2 years. I did the level 3 there. Really, really enjoyed it. I have had some really great memories from that. But I just personally, when I sat down with myself, I didn't see it as a career. Although I really enjoyed it, and I got great marks and what have
Yeah.
you. It was just something that I decided wasn't for me full time.
You just got pulled back to hairdressing.
Yeah, so I actually I did go to another college after that, which was in West London, and I did theatrical media, hair and makeup. So I dabbled a little bit with styling
Yeah.
originally, but then I went off into London and ended up in like corporate events,
Mm-hmm.
and it just wasn't me. I mean, it comes with life experience, maybe. I'm not sure everyone will relate to
Mm-hmm.
that, but I just got to a point where I was like, do you know what? This isn't for me. It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not me. And so I looked at my options and I decided, yeah, I'm just gonna go back to college. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna immerse myself in education again and get to where I actually want to be. So
Yeah, that's perfect. And what are you enjoying most about the course so far?
I mean, there's a lot to enjoy. I personally love every aspect of hair. I love the cutting, I love the colouring, I love the styling. There's not much I don't really enjoy. But the practical lessons, I have to say, being like, I'm actually starting to feel like a hairdresser now. Like I get these
Yeah.
moments where I'm like, oh, I'm actually doing this. I'm actually, I'm actually doing what I've always wanted to do, and I feel it. Um, so the practical lessons and being with the teachers, I mean, all of the tutors that I have, they've all worked in the industry and they've worked up in London in West End salons and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's just nice to hear from them because obviously we're at Leith Stafford college, so
Yep.
we do learn the Leith Stafford recipes, but we also get taught industry things from the
Yeah.
teachers. So it's not just the Leith Stafford way, it's
Mhm.
learning. And also everyone learns differently as well. And I think that's really important. And at college, they really allow that to flourish. Whereas in school, we were taught one way and that was it. And at college, I've been taught so many different ways, and the tutors understand that, and they do come around and they help you, and they show you different ways to do the things you need to get done, and you just kind of find your own way of doing it in the end. And
Mhm.
it's just a really nice way to learn, I find.
Yeah, definitely. Well, one of my questions was gonna be about the support from kind of tutors and assessors
Mm,
throughout, maybe even throughout when you was on your dance course as well. But it's
yeah.
like you just really have that support regardless. It doesn't matter which way you want to go. It's always there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have the counselling services, and I personally used the counselling services when I
Hmm.
was in my first course at North Kent. So I was at the Dartford campus, obviously with Miss Skin, and I'm now at the Gravesend. But yeah, I used the counselling services there, and the teachers were very much like, they allow you to leave lessons if your appointments are there. It's all very understanding, which again is it's completely different with school because the way that you have a relationship with the teachers, it's more like they they understand a bit better. You're
Hmm.
more mature, you have a different relationship to your teachers, and you can go up to them and say, look, I'm really struggling
Yeah.
with whether it be like the actual coursework, or I'm really struggling with the practical lessons,
Mhm.
or I'm really struggling in myself, I've got things going on at home. They're really approachable, and they will get you the help that you need. And obviously your student service is there. It's always advertised over the website, in the classrooms, just the help and support that you can get, and you can get it for free.
Yeah.
So that's always been a really big thing for me as someone who does struggle. I've got a few issues that I've had in and out of my life, and
Mhm.
knowing that I can get that support as a student, even as a mature student.
Yeah.
um I mean, I don't have to pay for it. I don't have, there's no waiting list. There's nothing that you would normally get elsewhere. So it is a really, really useful tool, and definitely something people should take advantage of while they've got it.
Yeah, definitely. Perfect. Lovely. So you've kind of mentioned it a little bit,
Mm.
but do you think the main benefits of coming to college and studying hair at NKC is for, maybe just for you, really?
Yeah, I mean, studying hair, there are many like avenues you can go down. Obviously, North Kent also offer apprenticeships and things like that, which is really, really useful, especially if you're like 16 and you get that work experience as well. But obviously, I'd been to North Kent before, so I knew how it kind of worked. I was fairly familiar. Obviously, it'd been quite a few years. I mean,
Yeah.
I went originally from 2012 to 2014, so it'd been a
Okay.
fair few years. And I just knew that I was gonna be able to get my qualifications that I wanted there, and that I wasn't. I mean, I do pay for my courses, but you get bursaries and things to help you as well if you can't um, financially do it. But there are courses up in London and what have you that charge like 4 or 5 times the amount for a
Yeah.
fraction of what you learn.
Yeah.
So I just knew, and to get in anywhere in the industry, you need your like level 2 and level 3
Yeah.
MVQs. And I knew I was going to get them in a year each.
Yeah. You
And I
basically
just knew,
the standard that the college could
yeah,
kind of provide. you, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I had, like I said, I had a really good experience my first time round. And obviously
Yeah.
they're very local to me. I live in between both campuses. So either
Hmm.
or, I would have been able to, there are buses and there are trains, but I drive and there's loads of parking spaces and the parking spaces are free and things like that. Just like the little things, that I
Yeah.
knew that North Kent offered.
Yeah.
So I keep going to say Northwest Kent because that's what it used to
It's
be. Um,
alright.
yeah, so no, it seemed like the most obvious choice to me to
Yeah.
do that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
get my like head down, knuckle down, and if it's something you really want to do, just go for it. It's like my only advice because I'm now 24. I've not necessarily wasted. Those have been like informative years, but I feel like if I'd just gone for it, what I really wanted
Yeah.
to do, rather than do things that maybe other people thought I should
Hmm.
do, um,
Hmm.
I'd be in a much different position to where I am. So
Yeah.
another piece of advice would be don't. I mean, your parents are there to help you and your teachers are there to help you, but at the end of the day, it's your life. You
Hmm.
do what you really want to do. Don't get swayed by what other people have to say,
Yeah.
because then you'll be 6 or 7 years down the line going back to college again. But it is also great that because I've got a lot of other mature students in my class. I've
Oh,
got other 24-year-olds, 29-year-olds, 21-year-olds, as well
oh,
as
so it's quite.
16, 17-year-olds. Yeah, so my class, we're a couple of old ladies in there, but it's not just for 16-year-olds,
Yeah.
although it is great for 16-year-olds. So we mix as a class, and we're very much, there is no kind of separation in
Yeah.
terms of, there's no ageism, as it
Yeah.
were.
Definitely.
So we all blend in and we all
Yeah.
get on with it and we all learn the same. I mean, we're all starting from the same point, which is vital, which is key, and
Hmm.
we're all just going on our educational
Yeah.
journey wherever that stage in life may
Yeah.
be.
You obviously you went to college, to, was it study a little bit of hair, wasn't it? Um
Yes, so I went to a London college
mhm.
from the ages of 18, 19, and I did like a theatrical media hair and
Yeah.
makeup, but it was mainly makeup based
Hmm.
because at the time I don't think North Kent offered a makeup course yet.
Yeah.
I think that was
Okay.
pre-makeup
Yeah.
course. So
Well,
I went there and it was a little bit of hair. It was more like hair up and rollers and stuff.
yeah. Well,
But
that's good.
yeah,
Something,
I mean,
something where you could come in and where it's so diverse with all the ages within your
mm,
class, you've got that tiny little bit, even if it's just a little bit, it's something
yeah,
where you could even
yeah,
help others within your class, which is
yeah.
really.
I mean, I try to. Obviously, we're all learning, and I don't want to come in and muscle in and be, the old lady that's bothering everyone. Um, but the thing is, my course was very makeup based. It was very little
Mhm.
hair, and
Mhm.
what of the hair I did, I knew I loved, which is
Yeah,
why
well, you
ultimately I
go.
knew it was the right thing to come back and do. But again, it was 6 years ago I did that. So I came back in my head. I'm like, well, there's a couple of things I know, but it has been so long. I want to start from fresh. I want to
Yeah,
start from
yeah,
the start, opposed to, you know, coming
yeah,
in and be like, I know all this,
yeah,
and then I end up, I don't actually know what I'm doing.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, but yeah, everyone is starting at the same point. Although it is good, obviously, there are YouTube tutorials galore now that you can
yes,
learn from and start looking at things. And if you're interested in coming next year, if you've applied for the hairdressing course and like even if you've already got a place, it's worth just getting into those like YouTube tutorials, familiarizing yourself with
yeah,
what it is that we do, because there's a lot of things that you see on Instagram, the before and afters, and you don't realize, oh, well, that takes like 6 hours to do.
yeah,
So
yeah,
just having a look, familiarizing yourself with the kind of things you want to do. um, all the great hairdressers out there. There's Sophia Hilton, obviously, she's a big one. Connor James in Ireland, he's a really big colorist, and just people like that. Familiarize, obviously, Vidal Sassoon is one of the big names.
hmm,
Just kind of getting to know those sorts of things, how they
definitely.
change the industry, just for your own sake. So
Yeah,
you come in and you're like focused. you want to be that person, it is really
Definitely.
key to have that focus, because if you're not interested, there's the thing with college, it's so different from school, because you're at school, you have to be there, and the teacher's like pushing you and pushing you. Whereas at college, it's very much like, if you want to be here, fantastic.
Yeah.
You're an adult now, essentially,
Oh,
so you
now,
have got to
yeah,
put the work
exactly.
in, you have got to want to do it. Otherwise, you won't, it will be a waste of a year if you
Yeah,
realize
yeah,
that
yeah.
you don't put the work in, and the teachers are going to be like, we'll help you until a certain point, but you're an adult now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is your domain now. So yeah,
Yeah.
very much that.
Perfect. Well, last thing, I know you did mention 2 points about the advice, but just
Probably.
quickly, lastly, very, very lastly, what are the 2 main points that you would advise somebody if they were looking to come to hairdressing, or even just coming to college in general?
Coming to college in general, have a look at all the courses they have to offer. Really do your research and where that can lead you, and
Yeah.
how you can progress from college, and be like, well, this is what I want. This is what I really want to do. I've got an interest in it, or I've got a passion in it. Because there is so much variety out there that it can be a bit overwhelming. Just do your research, make sure you know what you want. And with hairdressing, um, I don't really know, to be honest. It's very much, if you've got a passion for it, you're going to do really well. Just make
Yeah.
sure you really focus, and it's what you want to do. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's all the advice I can give, really. But just enjoy it, because I mean, I'm back at college again at 24, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've missed this. I've missed being at college. I've missed like not having to deal with, workplace issues, and just being able to do what I enjoy and enjoy it. So that's really all I've got to say, to be honest.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much,
No
Emily.
worries.
And I might see you on site very soon, hopefully. Take
Yes,
care.
hopefully. You too. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, bye, bye. So, Emily has given such an amazing insight to hairdressing, and not even that, just following your passion in general, really. I think she's just a great insight into where you can get to if you put your mind to it, basically. I'm gonna try and get Claire back on now. So let me just have a go. It's just connecting. So we'll just see if it accepts. There we go. Hi, Claire.
Hello.
How are
I can
you?
see. I'm all right, thank you. Glad that I'm here, but now it's a little bit blurry, isn't it? Never mind.
It's
I think
okay.
it's because
I love the
I moved
background.
positions.
Brilliant.
So sorry about that.
Exactly.
Just don't know what happened there.
Don't worry. We're always having technical difficulties with these online events, but you're here now, so that's all that matters. It's all that matters. So
Well,
first,
Emily did a fantastic job, didn't she?
yeah, she's just amazing. She's amazing.
Yeah,
She did one of the videos, one of your promo videos, didn't she? And even then,
she
it was
did.
brilliant, really great insight. But now it's
Yeah.
your turn to give everybody a bit of insight into hairdressing. So kind of the first things I'd like to ask are kind of, where are you based? What levels do you offer? And the entry requirements, if that's all right.
Yeah, so I'll start off by saying where we're based. So as Emily said, we've got campuses both at Dartford and at Gravesend, and we offer the apprentices at Dartford, but for levels 1, 2 and 3, they're both offered at the Dartford and Gravesend campuses. And so Emily said, where she lives, she can have opt-in to either campus. But even those people that live in the Medway area, they kind of forget that actually it's really easy to actually get to the Gravesend campus.
Yeah.
So I would say that it's definitely worth, don't think that, Mid-Kent is your only option, because us being at the Gravesend campus, you've got that additional option there to have a look at. And what sets us apart to any other college within the South East is the fact that we are a Lee Stafford Academy. So the way that we deliver and teach is very different compared to other hairdressing colleges. So with the entry requirements, for level 1, we ask you to have a minimum of a grade 2. And then with the level 1 qualification, what we will do is start on those first stepping stones of building up your hairdressing skill set, as well as you'll also be learning your English and maths as well. So you will learn things like basic styling techniques for both men and for women. You will learn some basic cutting techniques so you can bridge that gap between level 1 and level 2. You'll also get an understanding about temporary hair colour as well. But fundamentally, with the level 1 qualification, it's really learning about the hairdressing industry and what all the wonderful careers that you can enter being part of our industry. Then at level 2, we ask you to have a grade 4 in English and maths and above, and that's exactly the same for the apprentices as well.
Okay.
And with your your level 2 qualification, you're going to be learning your cutting, your colouring, your semis, your temporary colours, your permanent colours, your ombre, highlights, lowlights. You're going to be learning various different styling techniques, so taking it up a level from the level 1. And then you'll also be learning perming as well. So that really does deliver the bread and butter kind of services that you will do in a salon. However, industry now are crying out for level 3 qualified learners and hairdressers. So we have a real high progression rate between level 2 and level 3. So at level 3, you're going to learn those more advanced cutting and styling and colouring techniques. Key unit there is the colour correction unit, because a lot of people in lockdown, they would have used their box colours. We've all seen those hairdressing disasters on social media. So it's really that unit that you need for the industry. And that's something that employers do look for their prospective employees to have. So you can either start with us at a level 1 qualification or at a level 2, all depending on your GCSE base. However, there is some variance within that, because you may have done a level 1 hair and beauty qualification at school, or it may be that you've already got a little bit of industry experience. It may well be that actually when you come on board with us and you do some taster days, we actually think, oh, actually, if you started off on a level 1, we would actually be holding you back. So we do look learners on a case-by-case scenario, but predominantly it's those GCSE grades that set as our foundation point to have a look at what level you would enter in at.
Perfect, that's brilliant, thank you. So you did mention it really slightly there, but I just would like you to just expand on the point where, and I think Emily did mention it as well, about the real difference that where we have Lee Stafford as the academy, and Emily mentioned about recipes. Could you go into maybe a little bit more detail about that, Claire, if that's all right?
Yeah, definitely. So all of our hairdressing lecturers have got to be trained the Lee Stafford way in order for us to be a Lee Stafford Academy. So that means that our lecturers have gone through really intense training on top of already their qualifications and they're already their industry experience. And the training that they've gathered is to learn the different recipes that Lee has put together within his academy education package. And what that means is that all of our recipes are standardised. So it doesn't matter whether you go into one person's classroom and learn how to cut hair in one way, and then the following week you go to somebody else's session, you're going to be taught exactly the same way. So I think we all know what it's like at school. It may be in maths, for instance, somebody tells you one formula, you go to another maths teacher, they tell you a different formula, and it becomes really confusing. It's exactly the same. So the key thing, when we learn the Lee Stafford recipes, it means that we've taught you to a certain point, that you're competent within those recipes, so you're sound at what you do, whether it's styling, cutting, colouring, perming. But then all those wonderful things that we do see on social media and we do see from leading people within the hair industry, you can then look at a tutorial and think, actually, I now want to add that to the way that I cut my hair, or the way that I want to colour my hair. So it's really learning those fundamental basics first without all of that confusion,
Mm.
You also get access to videos that you can watch at home as well. You also get access to PDF recipes, so almost like a cookbook, and you flick through and you've got different recipes. We've got recipes for styling, cutting, colouring. They are all yours when you become a Lee Stafford Academy student with us.
Perfect. That's amazing. Thank you, Claire. You mentioned about the levels internally, and you have really quite good progression from level 2 to level 3. Is there
Yeah.
any kind of other progression? You did mention about apprenticeships. Could you just confirm that if maybe a lot of if they've done level 3, do they go into apprenticeships after? Is there higher apprenticeships, or is it just mainly like your level 2s that go into apprenticeships?
Well, for other careers, there are a wealth of different types of level of apprenticeships. There is currently a level 3 apprenticeship.
Okay.
We don't offer that at the moment, but what we can offer our apprentices, and what's happened last year and what's going to happen going forward to next year, the employers, as I said before, they desperately want their employees to have that level 3 qualification.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we make sure that that level 3 qualification is spread over just 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So it means that, so this is some information for people that may be already working actually within a sub environment. They've already got their job, but they haven't got that level 3 qualification.
Yeah.
They can also come back to us just to gain that level 3 qualification. So a lot of the learners as well, they may not have just progressed, but they might be an apprentice, or they might be somebody, I think Emily touched on it, they might have gone into industry and then come back. So that's an additional option, because they can then work around their hours within the salon with our 2-day timetable.
That's really good. That's flexible.
Apprentices, because we ask for that grade 4, what some learners do is they start with us at the level 1, because they're going to be doing their English and maths as well as their level 1. They gain the equivalent of a level 2 in functional skills, or they redo their GCSEs.
Mm-hmm.
They gain that minimum grade for grade 4. So it means in their second year, they can then go on to be an apprentice.
Okay.
So there's all various different options. And also, Emily touched on the fact that she's done makeup in another college. She did say at that point, we didn't offer makeup. That is a different department from us. But again, when people are just thinking about their end goal and thinking about what they want to do and putting all those different kind of tools in their toolkit, that is something that they may want to do. You know, if you're a learner that has started at level 2 hairdressing with us, may want to progress onto level 3 hairdressing, which obviously we would need in our industry.
Yeah.
But then to make them even more employable, they may want to then do something like a level 3 hair and media makeup as well, which is then more makeup based. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the point to really stress what Emily said as well. You know, she wanted to come do hairdressing because in media makeup it only touches on hair. Mm-hmm. It's just about the styling. However, people do forget, when you're on film sets, when you're on shoots, sometimes you do have to cut that person's hair. Yeah. Sometimes you do have to colour that person's hair in order to get them ready for that part. So a lot of our lecturers have also got both qualifications as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Perfect. Lovely. Thank you, Claire. So the next bit is, how do people apply, and if you guys in hair have an application process in particular?
Yeah, definitely. So apply via the North Kent College website. You'll see some people get confused actually when they come to apply. Mm-hmm. So I've mentioned that if you're looking at a kind of predicted grades. Now I know schools aren't necessarily giving out predicted grades at the moment. Schools are doing kind of mock tests, but I think each learner really does kind of know what end result they're likely to get. So I'd say based around those thoughts, if you're going to be level 1, you're looking at those grades between a 2 and a 4, so sort of your 2s and your 3s. But if you're predicted kind of your 4s, then you would apply for the level 2 qualification. So on the website, you'll see there's level 1, there's level 2, and there's also level 3, in fact. So if you've already got a hairdressing qualification, apply to the level 3 and do it for that set campus. If you make a mistake, don't worry, because during the interview process, I'll ask all these questions anyway. So I don't want anybody to panic. But the next step, once we've received your application form, you'll be invited to submit our pre-interview tasks. And these pre-interview tasks are really, really important to us. So our first task is that you're going to do some research around Lee. So one of the great things about being Lee Stafford Academy is the fact that Lee actually does come on site and he does workshops, he does masterclasses. We have live masterclasses on YouTube that's designated to his colleges once a month, and there's more developments going forward for next year. We was told yesterday actually, so that's kind of breaking news, so really exciting for everybody. So you're going to submit your research about Lee. So where does he start from? And I'll just tell you a little snippet now. You know, he was somebody at school that didn't particularly like school, didn't really get his grades at school, you know, and now, you know, he's very wealthy and he's got his academies, he's got his products, you know, he's an influencer. So, you know, it just shows you from where your starting point can be and where you can get to. So find out about his career, find about the ethos about Lee Stafford Education. The second task is to do some research around careers within hairdressing. So it's not just about working your local hairdressers, and that's fantastic. Not knocking that at all, but people forget you can work on cruise ships, you can work in television, you can work in theatre, you can work in film, you can be a brand representative, you can be a hair influencer, you can have your own educational platform. There's such a wealth of careers that you can do within our industry. So it's about researching that, have a look at the kind of salaries that you can gain as well within those careers. So you come to us knowing, right, that's my end goal. That's where I want to see myself in 2, 3, 5 years' time. And then lastly, the third task is to submit some photographic evidence of some hair work that you've done. So it can be a hair up, it can be a cut, it can be a colour. And I don't want anybody to panic, because some people come back to me and say, but I've got no experience in hair, I don't know what to submit. It doesn't matter, because that's why you're coming to us. But what we do want from you is the passion, the motivation, the determination in order to succeed, because it is hard work, it's fun, it's enjoyable, we have a laugh, but we also work really, really hard. And I think Emily touched on as well that, and actually she mentioned Sophia Hilton, and only yesterday Sophia made a post and said, anybody at school that's academic and thinks that they can't go into hairdressing because it's not academic, you are wrong. You know, and she talks about in her post how she flies to all different countries all around the world educating professionals. And she says, you know, she earns a lot of money. And just like Emily was saying, don't let anybody hold you back. Do what your true passion is.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Claire. You really spoke about kind of the recipes and what you can get up to in the course, but could you tell us a little bit about maybe like the facilities or the equipment or maybe even the products that you use as well?
Yeah, definitely. So, and I don't know what's going on quite now. The lighting's kind of blurring it all out. But I had tried to position... No, it's not going to work. I won't touch it. I'm actually in a salon in Gravesend at the moment, because I did want you guys to be able just to kind of see how vast this room is. And we've got barbering chairs. So in fact, we're actually thinking, I was talking to Hayley earlier, we're thinking about doing a bit of an Instagram live so that people can see us live, see us working, so they get a little bit of understanding of what it's like to be here. But we've got all commercial equipment here. Big vast salons, we're open to the public, so that's another question that's coming up at the moment. We are now allowed to take some clients. Brilliant. So if anybody does want to come and join us, what I would say though, you do need to be 16 and above though in order to be a client with us. Okay. So if you're 16 and above, DM us. You can email us on hairnkc@northkent.ac.uk and we can book in appointments with you. They are limited because obviously we're abiding by government guidance at the moment for close contact services. So although this room that I'm in now can potentially hold 20 hairstylists. At the moment, we're half that
Yeah.
because of the government guidelines at the moment. But we're all COVID safe. We sanitise, we wear visors, we wear a mask.
Yeah.
We very much follow industry as much as we can to get our learners ready. Hayley's our hair apprenticeship assessor. She works obviously very closely with our salons. We take their feedback very seriously as well. So in fact, you'll see some of those. I think we've got YouTube clips as well, haven't we, about our employers and some of our apprentices, so people can check in and view those as well. But yeah, we've got excellent facilities at Gravesend and at Dartford. And as I said, I do want to stress the Gravesend because people forget that we are here, but we are very much here. But actually, I'm sitting here looking at the barbering area at the moment, and I just want to take this opportunity to ask people if they're interested in maybe doing a barbering course. Because if the demand is there, we may well be able to supply. So if people would like to DM us, email, and just bring that forward, then I can contact you and we can talk about that. And if we get enough numbers, then ready for September, hopefully, fingers crossed, we may be rocking and rolling. But that is something that people have asked us in the past. And we do listen to everybody's views, and that's exactly the same when you are a learner with us. We do regular student surveys, we look at that feedback, and, you know, good or bad, you know, we address it. And likewise, you know, I've had some inquiries, and it's not on the website at the moment, so that's why I wanted to just take this opportunity to say to people, if you are interested in doing more of a barbering course as opposed to hairdressing, please do get in contact at hairenkc.ac.uk or DM us on our Instagram.
Perfect. That's lovely. Thank you so much, Claire. Just to end, really, is there anything else that you'd like to cover about hair?
I think just to stress the fact that we are just so different to other colleges, you know, and I'm not just saying that because I am part of the Lee Stafford Academy. You know, I'm hearing this from feedback from learners that may have actually gone to another college and they haven't been pleased about their experience in their past college, and so then they come and join us. You know, and the fact that we are part of the Lee Stafford Academy, not only do we get Lee that comes down, we have Jane that comes down several times during the academic year. She was actually in Gravesend yesterday working on a one-to-one basis with our level 3 learners, and they just had such an amazing time. We also get to enter the Lee Stafford Education competition each year. In fact, in 2019, we was awarded Best College of the Year out from the 14 colleges that entered.
Wow.
So, you know, so we have got a really good reputation, and employers do come to us. In fact, I got a couple of emails yesterday from employers saying, could you recommend learners to us? So we are really, really growing and expanding. And I just want to say as well that, like what Emily said, we really do nurture you as a person as well. You know, we are very different than school. You're choosing to do a hairdressing course. We will support you both within your skill set within hair, but also developing you as a person.
Yeah.
And help you to build up that resilience and confidence, because obviously to be a hairdresser you do need to have a degree of confidence, and that is something that you may not necessarily have initially, but that is something that we will encourage you to do. And step out of your comfort zone is a really important thing to do as well.
Perfect. That's amazing. That's a lovely end note. Thank you so much, Claire. Your insight's been absolutely brilliant. And again, thank you to you and Emily for taking the time out today.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
So, Claire and Emily have given us some amazing insight into hairdressing. Not only just hairdressing, but Emily's also spoke about, and Claire did mention about, kind of following your heart and doing what you really want to do when you leave college. As Claire did mention as well, we do have tons of amazing video clips on our YouTube channel, all about hair, but also about loads of other courses as well, so feel free to head over there. If you have now been transformed and you would really like to apply for our hairdressing course, you can do that now. That's not a problem. You can head over to the bio, click on the link, and it will take you straight to the website where you can apply. Again, Claire did mention, just obviously to promote it a little bit more, if you are interested in barbering, then please get in contact with us. Claire did mention an email address, but you could just DM them straight after this, and just let them know that you're interested in it. Lastly, very lastly, before I let you all go, there is a virtual open days that we will be hosting in May. So the 25th and the 27th of May, they will be split. So it will be Dartford courses and Gravesend courses. Feel free to apply for both, get a real insight into everything, and then make your decision afterwards and apply using our application form online. I hope you've all enjoyed today, and have a lovely rest of the evening. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Bye.